Hey, how's it going my super friends? I am Sebo, thanks for watching the vid. The Last Jedi is of course out. I did a review already, spoiler review. I did a video talking about Darth Revan. If you haven't seen my videos, go check them out, they're in the channel right now. And there has been a lot of divisive talk, man, between fans. Some people love it and some people hate it. It's almost like two extremes, there's almost no middle ground. And I'm gonna be explaining why a lot of people hate on the movie, the biggest problems the movie has, the biggest questions it raises, just the negatives. The biggest negatives in the movie. Really quick, if you're new to the channel, you like Star Wars, you like Marvel Comics and DC, subscribe, my man. I do comic book reviews, I talk about the news, video games, movies, TV shows, everything cool out there. Click on the little bell icon so you get notifications and you never miss my videos. So let me start with something small, not the biggest problem, not the biggest question, but something that I found the answer to earlier today. How was the First Order tracking the Resistance fleet? And of course, obviously, if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this vid because I'm gonna be spoiling a lot of things. Spoiler warning. The entire middle section of The Last Jedi saw the huge First Order fleet chasing down a small number of Resistance ships. While jumping into hyperspace would normally be enough to lose any pursuers in Star Wars, the Resistance ships were unwilling to do so as the First Order had the uncanny ability to track them even through hyperspace. But how? Well, the answer comes from Rogue One, my man. Rogue One, yes, Jyn Erso. While looking through the plans in this Imperial building, I forgot where she is, she sees the Empire is working on hyperspace tracking. Eventually, the First Order got these schematics and they built the tracking device. That is how they've been tracking the Resistance. It has been established long before that. Why have we never seen the tracking before, like in canon, in books or comics? Well, I don't know, dude. That's a really hard question to answer. Alright, so now one of the big ones, one of the biggest questions, biggest problems the movie has is Rey's parents, Rey's parentage. Who could be the parents of this Mary Sue? Oh, I'm sorry, this super tuned into the Force, high midichlorian counts, skillful random desert chick. Clearly she has a Skywalker blood, or Kenobi blood, or she's a descendant of powerful Jedi generals. There has to be an explanation to these abilities, right? Nope, she is a nobody. Rey's parents were nobodies. The junkers who sold their young daughter for drinking money. This shit, Rey's parentage now turning out to be some crazy reference to Star Wars lore, broke many fans. So many theories and it played out disappointing to many. However, there is a possibility that Kylo was just lying and we could learn the truth in episode 9. J.J. Abrams is coming back, so maybe. Rian Johnson is obviously interested in the idea that heroes can, and often do, come from nothing. Witness the orphan child at the end of the film, abused and enslaved for the moment, but endowed with the power of the Force. He even does the Steven Spielberg look away into the stars in the future. Even Luke Skywalker is descended from slaves, his father Anakin and his grandmother, they were bought and sold as well, but Anakin grew from those very low beginnings to become a powerful Jedi, and then the ultimate villain, before redeeming himself in his final moments. So is the idea that Rey, too, is just a nobody all that far-fetched? If you ask me if I like it, I kinda don't, but I kinda don't hate it. I am in the middle. Some part of me wanted Rey's parents to be really badass characters, something from Old Republic stuff or just some badass stuff. But the idea of having no strings attached, no name to live by, that is really cool, man. Making your own story, making your own destiny, a name for yourself, that's just a really great theme to play. Now that I've seen the movie, I wouldn't change it at all. I wouldn't give Rey these crazy Star Wars lore parents. I think I'll just keep it the way it is. Nobodies. And I don't think Kylo is lying. I think Kylo in that moment, he did see junkers being Rey's parents, and he does think they're nobodies. This is going to be one of the biggest discussions and ongoing questions and themes for Star Wars until episode 9 comes out. What did you guys think? Did you like this? Did you want Rey's parents to be powerful characters or someone with significance? Tell me in the comments down below. Next up is this ugly ass character. Yes, Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke. Rest in peace, man. Your Snoke theory sucks, man. You know why? Cause it was wrong. All of the crazy, bonkers theories, as well as the smart ones, were wrong. Snoke is not Ezra Bridger, he is not Mace Windu, nothing like that. Snoke is Snoke. A new character created to be a next generation Palpatine. And yes, Snoke's death was unbelievable. I was in awe. Holy shit, is that legit? Yeah, Kylo fucked him up. When faced with the prospect of killing Rey at the behest of Snoke, Kylo instead chooses to plant a lightsaber blade right into his boss's side. And the immediate question is, how did he not notice or feel the blade moving? Kylo's true intentions. He was going on and on saying that he knew Kylo's moves and desires but couldn't see that shit coming? Huh, ironic. And here is where fans turned on The Last Jedi. Some fans felt they were owed answers to the many questions Snoke raised. 2 years since The Force Awakens, asking who this guy is. Did he have a big role in the original trilogy or prequels? How did he become so powerful with the Force and become the leader of the First Order? Rian Johnson, he just laughed and said, "Lol, losers, you're not getting anything." He basically threw away Snoke, along with Phasma and Maz Kanata. I hate it where this ended up. It's obvious Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy didn't have a plan for the character because they did work on this movie. Abrams was a producer, but man, nothing good came out of it. Rian came in and was like, shit, I don't know, just kill him. Lul XD. Really hated that stuff. I suspect they will come out with books or comics explaining Snoke's origin or rise to power. There is just too much fan backlash. They will explain who this mofo was. I'm not even pumped to read that, but for sure we'll read it and tell you guys what's up. Also, he lost an arm, so he kept the tradition alive. When we see his body, he is cut in half, but has a dismembered arm. So the tradition lives on, man. Dismembered arms. Next up, we got the biggest one for me. This is the biggest problem the movie had, one of the huge negatives a lot of people are talking about, and it's Luke. Luke gets Force ghosted, he dies. And a lot of changes to his character throughout the story. And yeah, bringing back the original classic trilogy was always gonna piss off people. It's hard to capture the magic again decades later and past their prime. The Force Awakens did a fantastic job with Han and Leia, but left Luke in the back burner, giving viewers even more anticipation. They wanted to see this guy do something cool in The Last Jedi. So the Luke we finally got had a lot to live up to. Of course, Rian wanted to do something different, not just recycle like The Force Awakens did. In avoiding that, it seems that Rian did not please many fans with his take on Luke. As a matter of fact, a lot of fans hated Luke in this movie. He does not pull a Star Destroyer out of orbit using the Force. He doesn't get into a badass lightsaber duel. Kylo's bullshit doesn't count because they never touched lightsabers. He doesn't even leave Ahch-To. He dies quietly while seeing a vision of the suns setting on Tatooine, the home he left behind. However, he did give us a new power in Force projection. And it's a new power in the movies and canon now, because this ability was shown in the comic series Dark Empire. In the image above, you can see Luke, Leia and Han returning from a dangerous mission, and at the end of the scene, Luke reveals that he never actually left the planet Biss. Since he knew that Leia would never let him stay behind, he tricked the entire group into believing that he was with them the entire time. And of course, this doesn't make the comic canon by any stretch of the imagination, but for fans of the series like me, it is nice to know that the filmmakers are willing to dig back into the old series to include some of its better content in the movie. And with the projection, the big question was, why did Luke appear with different hair, shorter and darker, like he used just for men before going to the final conflict? Why did Kylo never realize Luke wasn't there? Force users always seemed to have the ability to recognize when other Force-sensitive people were amongst them. Vader sensed Kenobi's presence on the original Death Star, for example, while Luke knew his father was on the Death Star too, all the way from the Endor moon. So why did Ben, or Kylo, apparently one of the most powerful Force wielders ever, not realize that he was only facing a projection of Luke and not the real person? Well, I think Kylo Ren is an unstable villain who can barely control his emotions. He was blinded to his rage and passion when he saw his uncle, the man he'd been chasing across the galaxy, and attempted to kill him in his sleep. The Force was probably telling him, yo, this is a projection, man, this is not real, but he just couldn't see past his rage. As for Luke, I think this is what he looked like the last time everyone saw him. He could have used a familiar face so that people wouldn't be like, shit, man, you owed. I don't know why he looks differently there. What is your theory on that? Tell me in the comments down below. Why does he look this way? But man, I wanted Luke to be a complete badass. Rian Johnson portrayed his power really differently, surprising. And adding to all the mistakes Rian did, killing Luke off feels personal. for many fans. A character so beloved like him, he left a sour taste on people when he died in this movie. Did he have to die? Will he become a Force ghost now? What caused him to fade away and become one with the Force? It seems clear that the enormous effort that was required for Luke to project his image across the galaxy to appear on Crate and confront Kylo took its toll, making the old guy just go the way of Ben Kenobi and become one with the Force. And it seemed to be a willing gesture, just in much the same way both Kenobi and Yoda accepted their end and lose their physical forms. Both those characters, as well as other Force-wielding guys like Anakin or Vader, they appeared as Force ghosts, so there's a good chance that this won't be the last we'll see of Master Luke. Now that unfortunately Carrie Fisher passed away, she's not gonna have a big or important role in Episode 9. Like, they have to put Luke as a Force ghost in the movie. No wonder people hated this, man. They changed Luke and they messed it up really bad. And finally, the ending. The film ends with an unnamed slave child. But now that I read the visual dictionary, the Force-sensitive orphan's name is Temiri Blag. Temiri Blag, I don't know how to pronounce it. The book also reveals the names of his two friends. The girl is Arashel Sar and the other boy is Oniho Zaya. All these three endure the harsh oversight of stable groom Bargwill Tomder. So this kid casually uses the Force to grab a broom and then looks up to the stars. The broom is gripped like a lightsaber. The message director Rian Johnson is sending isn't that this particular child is special, but that there are special people across the galaxy from the unlikeliest of places, and those special people like Rey will be the key in helping the Resistance defeat the First Order. And I kinda like this. The Chosen One and all these stupid prophecies are so played out. People like Rey and this kid don't have names they have to live by, like I said. They make their own stories, destiny. These characters may have nobodies for parents, but they are somebody, and that is what matters. Thanks for watching my vid, my friends. I am Memo. If you enjoyed, please click the like button. These were the biggest problems, questions the movie raised, and why people are hating on the film. Share the video with some friends that you want to spread the word to. Check out my other vids on the channel, my review, spoiler discussion, and talking about Revan, Darth Revan in canon now. Go check out the vids. I'm gonna be making more Star Wars videos this week. A lot of content coming your way. Also comic book stuff. I'm gonna be talking about comic book sales and reviews coming, a lot of cool stuff. Make sure to follow me on my Twitter, which is the big one, Memo Acebo. Check out my Instagram also, check out those social medias. Subscribe to see more, and of course, I'll see you in the next one.